Okay, guys, another thing that we can be able to use electrocardiogram or the graph paper that can be gotten from ECG to do is to calculate heart rate. Okay, you can be able to use the information you get from an ECG to actually calculate how the beats per minute of the heart. Okay, so we can be able to use this to calculate the heart rate. Okay, you can use the electrocardiogram, use the electrocardiography and everything. Okay, so you can see this is one of the applications, and I'd like you guys to pay attention. We have the small boxes, which are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have small 5 boxes in one big box. Do you understand the difference now? Okay, so we can use this information to actually know the heartbeat of a person. So let's quickly do it. We see that the heart rate can be calculated from the interbeat. Okay, that's from what? This is the QRS complex. Okay, so if I'm measuring from one R to another R, that's what? RR interval. Okay, so you measure this by what? Dividing, if it is large squares, okay, you divide them into 300. Let me say if I'm calculating these big squares now, if they are 1, 2, 3, I'll just say 300 divided by 3. Okay, that's like what? 100 beats per minute. But this one is kind of like involved half. Okay, so you could say 300 divided by 3.5. All right, so you get your answer. But if you are talking about the small squares that I said that there are actually 5 inside one big box, you divide it by what? 15,000. Okay, so now let's calculate this. This is talking about the big squares. This is 1, all right, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you say 300 divided by 4. But if you did the small squares now, you can start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, another 5, that's 10, another 5, that's 15, another 5, that's 20. Then you now say 1,500 divided by 20. Okay, so that's just how you use this the electrocardiogram graph to actually calculate for heartbeat. Now you do this if the patient has a normal sinus rhythm. Okay, but if the patient is in atrial fibrillation, the heart is just beating uncontrollable and all that, you just count the number of QRS complexes in 30 big squares and multiply by what? 10 to obtain the heart rate. Okay, so you count the number of QRS complexes in 30 big squares, right? So if you count them, they are like 7. Okay, like the heartbeat is irregular, so at least if you find a QRS complex, you count. So if you find them, they are like 7, you multiply it by 10, that's 70 beats per minute. If you find them 80, you multiply by 10, that's 80 beats per minute and all that. Okay, so that's just how we can be able to use we can be able to calculate the heart rate using electrocardiography. That's it.